Injured. No classes are scheduled for today because of the holiday anyway. Officials are to meet later today to decide about tomorrow's classes. In South Carolina,
these are the windows in the back of the band and chorus rooms. As you can see, the ceiling is pretty much gutted out on the inside. This is the inside of the hallway. There's extensive water, smoke damage.
Oh, I looked in the medic.
Along the left side is the main office where the fire supposedly started.
They're not even like there.
If you look down the hallway, you can see the other hallway. Though.
Yeah, but on the top floor.
I thought it fell down.
This is the stairwell next to the band and chorus theater area. Leads upstairs. As you can see, there's extensive water and smoke damage. I don't know if you can see into the next hallway. That's the main hallway with the nurses' guides and main offices that were severely burned by the fire.
Why? When did it start?
The main section of the building that was burned at the fire. Up by that area, there's some language arts classrooms and some English classrooms. That area of the building is directly above the main office where the fire was centered. There's a big section of the building that's being torn out by a crane from the middle section of the building. Yeah. Gigantic piece of ceiling that's coming out.
Everything on the top, everything.
So you can see that section of the hallway is completely gone. All the classrooms that were there are now on the first floor.
Overnight. News 3's Robin McIntosh with more.
A huge crane was busy today removing the charred rubble from what had been the principal's office and classrooms at the John Dickinson High School. Dozens of firefighters battled the stubborn blaze for 5 hours last night before bringing it under control. But it was police who were the first on the scene, alerted to trouble by a burglar alarm.
Originally, the call came as a burglar alarm about 8:15 p.m. last evening. The arriving state trooper came, started to go in the building with the responding person from the school district, and that's when they noticed smoke in some of the fire department.
More than 800 students go to class at John Dickinson High School. They were off today in observance of Martin Luther King's birthday, but now it looks like that holiday may be extended, at least through Friday, and maybe longer.
All students at John Dickinson High School for all classes and activities are canceled at least through Friday of this week.
Students and their parents stood grim-faced in shock today, assessing their losses in the middle of the school year.
I wish this didn't happen at all. You know, I'm a senior and it pretty much ruined my senior year.
Shocking, man. You know, how it's like one little thing could happen. Everything's gone to change your life for the rest of the year.
Red Clay School District officials still not sure about the rest of the year. They'll take it one day at a time. In Newcastle County.
It's tragic. I mean, school spirit isn't exactly the best lately, but you still hate to see something like this happen. I mean, now I'm a senior. I don't know where I'm going to be going to high school.
There's an emergency meeting at 7 tonight at the Thomas McKean High School arena.
As Cathy Matusiak reports, the entire building sustained heavy damage.
Charred debris is all that remains of the main offices of Dickinson High School. Fire scorched classrooms. The clock stopped here at 8:47 last night.
You're looking at the main office reception area, the principal's office, 2 assistant principal's office, and the balance on the first floor is all guidance.
Red Clay School District's maintenance supervisor says underneath the debris are hundreds of administrative, personnel, and student records. Those here can only hope fireproof file cabinets held up under the heat.
College, I don't know what's going to happen. It's all the transcripts from school are gone.
Students who lost their lockers to the fire wish they had taken more books home over the long weekend. 8 classrooms were destroyed. Smoke and water damaged other parts of the building. It could have been even worse if a police officer hadn't seen smoke last night when he went to the school to check out a burglar alarm.
A fire within a building can set a burglar alarm off, so we're looking at all avenues at this time.
But there is the possibility that someone was in the building and set it off.
No indication of that right now, but it's always a possibility.
Today, a crane lifted up parts of the school's roof, so arson investigators will be able to get to the area near the main office where they believe the fire started. An exact cause might not be known for days.
It's obvious that the children are not going to be able to return to that building anytime soon, and so they're talking about split shifts with another school.
School officials estimate repairs will cost thousands of dollars and could take months to complete. The Red Clay School District has canceled classes through Friday, and administrators are now trying to decide what to do with 900 Dickinson High School students come this time next week.
800 students. Here is Action News reporter John Rollins.
Work crews continued to dig through the remains of 5 classrooms and the main office of Dickinson High School tonight. As students and parents gathered at nearby McKean High School, they learned if McKean parents agree, Dickinson kids will move into McKean classrooms beginning Monday.
John Dickinson High School student and staff come to McCain High School on a part-time basis, meaning that we would have a share time.
This is what officials hope will happen. The McKean students will attend school from 7 in the morning to just before noon. At 12:30, the Dickinson students will arrive, and they'll attend class till 5:25 in the afternoon. Now, most of the details have been worked out, with one exception: locker space. McKean students have their lockers, of course. No one's too sure just where the Dickinson students will keep things. Officials indicated something would be worked out. Dickinson students were happy they will all be together, but some had hoped for a separate building.
They can't find another building. I think that's a little ridiculous. They just found the first thing that was handed to them, and they don't feel like looking.
Officials responded that a separate building might take weeks to find. Most students accepted the doubling up with good humor.
We're getting shipped off to another school. Our whole schedules are getting rearranged. It's going to be tough, but I think it will be exciting. Yeah. Wouldn't you agree, Chris?
It's going to be very interesting.
Officials still don't know what sparked last night's blaze. The first sign of trouble came from a burglar alarm, but an investigator tonight said that did not necessarily mean there was a break-in, as the fire could have caused the malfunction. School officials say they don't know the full extent of damage here, but one estimate is it could take weeks or even months before Dickinson is ready to reopen.
That the fire at Dickinson High School was bad, so bad that some things may be lost forever.
A colleague of mine had some books from the Caribbean that he brought in that he treasured. And I just thought maybe I could find them.
Some drove by to take a look. Others just stopped and stared.
It was important for us to come and see it firsthand, and so that we could move forward after we saw it, and to come here, smell the smell of the smoke, to know that this really happened, and then you can move forward.
Teachers from Meadowood School, who use several classrooms at Dickinson, came by to survey the damage for themselves.
It's terrible. I couldn't get over how...
You guys didn't go in, did you?
No, they wouldn't let us.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us.
Yeah, no. She said nobody. They were going to, but then they decided not to.
The fire started Sunday evening and left the administration and guidance offices in a shambles. The 6 classrooms immediately above are also destroyed. How does it look inside?
Messy in one word, messy. Very messy. A lot of smoke, a lot of water damage.
Today, federal alcohol, tobacco, and firearms investigators joined those from the state fire marshal's office in looking for the cause of the blaze. Students from Dickinson have the rest of this week off, but next week they'll be sharing McCain High School with students there. McCain students will start a little earlier and do a morning-only schedule. Dickinson students will enter McCain at 12:30 and go to school on an afternoon-only schedule.
Well, it's just going to be different. I mean, just having to go to a whole other school, and you can have your same friends and everything, but just having to deal with a whole other location and everything.
It seems the loss so many students and teachers are feeling is not just because of the physical structure. It's the uncertain future of a place that holds so many memories.
This is from one of the affected rooms, and they have nothing. So maybe I found something that they really wished they could have retrieved.
At Dickinson High School,
2 schools will be sharing one building. Students from McCain reported to their home school this morning, but they were dismissed about a half an hour ago, so students from Dickinson could come in, and they're just arriving now. All this because of that fire that was deliberately set. Students did not report to Dickinson High this morning, but inside, work crews did, and they will have their hands full. Indications are school district officials hope to have this building repaired within 3 months, so seniors can graduate on home turf. It was January 15th when the school went up in flames. An investigation revealed arson was behind the fire. Don Moore didn't have to wait for the investigation. This McCain High School student went to Dickinson High the night of the fire because he's also a member of the Mill Creek Fire Company.
It went around that evening that they found a point of entry that it was delivery set, especially with the fact that the burglar alarm went off first and the state police were called about the fire department.
Moore, like most students, likes the idea of going to school only a half day, but he dislikes having to get up earlier in the morning. McCain students will report here from 7:50 a.m. to 11:20. Dickinson kids from 12:25 to 5:30. Moore hopes the rival schools heal old wounds, but others have their doubts.
I hope it'll work out for the best, but I really don't think so. I heard rumors already that it's going to be trouble.
Yesterday, the only trouble Dickinson students had was finding their way around their temporary new school. An open house was held so students and teachers could get used to their new surroundings. Today, students from both schools are prepared for the challenge.
I have to get up earlier. Our classes are going to be shorter. I think the teachers might give us a lot more homework since we don't have as much time to do stuff in class.
While parents and teachers are all optimistic that everything will work out here, it will take a big spirit of cooperation, and so far, that has happened here at McCain High.
Carper was on hand for the first day back, checking out a computer class and generally shaking as many hands as possible. But at a news conference, Carper was deadly serious as police continue to search for an arsonist. The state has put up a $10,000 reward.
That's $10,000 that this governor would be glad to spend. It's important that we find out who started this fire, that we bring them to justice, and that they pay the price for the actions that they have committed.
It was January 15th when an arson fire did severe damage to Dickinson. Since then, Dickinson students have been going to school.
John Dickinson High School. Investigators say the blaze was intentionally set. Students and teachers returned to Dickinson today for the first time.
Over 2 months ago, an arson fire at Dickinson left authorities wondering who was responsible and how long it would take to rebuild. Governor Carper put up thousands of dollars for both. And although law enforcement has nothing to show yet for the reward money, Carper got a first-hand look today at how the cleanup money has been spent. There were no flames in this particular hallway, but there was heavy smoke damage. All of these ceiling tiles had to be replaced. Everything had to be completely cleaned and repainted. The area where the real damage occurred begins right here, and that remains sealed off. Our cameras, however, were allowed into the sealed-off area. Renovations there are lagging behind, as the school still has yet to choose a contractor to do the work. But in the big picture, students say that is just a minor inconvenience.
Yeah, I'm glad that we came back. I was getting kind of bored with McCain.
Really? Yeah. Now, school officials say they hope to have the auditorium ready by graduation.